Hey guys, we took one on the chin last game. Let's see if we can try to right the ship. Sleepy, God, sleepy. Wow.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers as his guys get set to take on Case Keenum and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come into this one knowing it's been a while since tasting victory. They've dropped 4 in a row.
Can they remember what it was like to win a game? In these types of situations, you're looking for someone to inspire you, and it doesn't have to be one of your best players either.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Steelers, they come in after tasting defeat for the first time in about a month as their loss snapped a 4-game winning streak. The final playoff push is upon us. It's week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And on the return, here comes Adam Jones. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. The man in charge for this crew, the 6'1 quarterback from the University of Houston. It's the veteran Case Keenum.
He had the numbers of a game last week that if you win, you talk about him being a gritty guy, managing the game, getting it done. But they lost. So obviously 2 interceptions, 1 touchdown pass, that's not going to be good enough. Got to get that changed around.
Keenum going to lead the Broncos up now 1st and 10. First carry from Devontae Booker. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Keenum to throw on 2nd down. And here is a leaping catch. He pulled it in. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco 1st down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
On 1st down, Keenum drops it underneath for Booker. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or 2 miss, but that window closed quickly.
Good job, Shea.
The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play, now 2nd and 13. Shotgun snap for Keenum. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. Now, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies.
Good job. Way to come up. Way to come up,
that play will
Artie
go
Burns.
Nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And now out come the Steelers. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round.
Oh, are you fucking kidding me?
It's Chris Harris with a pick. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line. Charles, that makes now 5 interceptions and not even 5 quarters. Remember, he threw 4 picks last week.
And this turns into a tough situation.
Damn, what are you doing, Antonio Brown?
Quarterbacks. This is your guy.
Oh,
this
you
is your
know
elite
what?
Player. You can't just take him out like that. If I'm the coach, I make a little joke and say,
that
some
shit?
big guy, we're going to change the football. So it's obvious that's the problem. It's not you. Keep firing.
Did you see this shit?
The Broncos offense now
ball
gets
goes
ready
right
to
through
head
him.
back onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated.
I mean, how does this happen? Tell me how, first of all, how's that not pass interference? That's the first thing. And then look where his helmet is. And you know what?
From playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
The offensive starters now for the Broncos.
Let's focus outside on Demaryius Thomas.
We've seen enough, dog. We've seen enough. We've seen enough, man. Seen enough, man. We need to find out what we got with this guy.
Last year, first time in the last 5 years he didn't top 1,000 yards. But this guy's been to 5 Pro Bowls. And when I think about the evolution of his career, from his time at Georgia Tech, where they were running an option offense and he didn't catch much more than bombs, to now being a complete receiver, no reason in my mind to think he won't be over 1,000 yards again in the future.
Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Throwing is Keenum on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete. So on 4th down, on comes Brandon McManus and the field goal unit for the Broncos. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And McManus able to put it through. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Mason Rudolph leading this offense out for their next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I saw Von Miller in college at Texas A&M, and all I kept hearing about was his speed off the edge to the quarterback. But what impressed me, his balance and his ability to take on blocks and be a force in the run game, as we just saw there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Rudolph now on 2nd down. That'll be taken in there by James Washington. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
2nd down pass play got them 8 yards. Now they've got a 3rd and a couple remaining.
Here we go now.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
Now after the run by Bell, here's another 1st and 10. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. The numbers for Bell on the ground in the game last week. 18 carries, 62 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. So 3rd and 5, defensively expecting pass. They've got 6 DBs out there.
Now let's go. Blue Lightning.
Shotgun snap for Rudolph. Eluding the pressure right. He may try and run for this. 8 yards that time. Able to take off, and the result is a first down.
I'm not sure he falls under the category of mobile quarterback, but he's athletic enough that if you don't keep your rush lanes intact, he finds a way to hurt you.
As coaches like to say, I wouldn't call him a burner, but enough there in the tank.
Hey, like you broke your ankle.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 44-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
They'll try the air now. Here's Rudolph. Man open right side. It's Rodgers. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Rudolph throwing on second down. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald.
Good job, McDonald.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Good job, baby. Way to keep digging. Still tired.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So the offense took the timeout. Looks like they're ready to go as we get set to resume the action.
Here we go now. Blue Lightning.
Now Rudolph on first down. And it's caught. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Le'Veon Bell. His 9th touchdown of the season, and the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead.
When he was a Cowboy at Oklahoma State, he was a threat to do this all the time from any part on the field. he'll still be a threat in the NFL. Mason Rudolph's big right arm delivers his first NFL touchdown.
Good job. Let's go.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Now Jones. He'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. They go play action here on first down. Man open. He's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Green, 30.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. You see the numbers last week for Davis. In the end, not enough to help get him the victory.
And as we look forward to this week, don't you just get the sense that he's going to get the ball a little bit more? I mean, that's just how it reads to me. I don't know how you're feeling about it.
Well, they talked about that with us this week. That's going to be a priority for them.
Give him the ball, let him do his thing.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out.
Leopard! Leopard! Set! Green 39! Green 39!
A play fake. Now Kelly. Kelly stripped. The
Good
ball
job!
free, and it's picked
Good
up.
job! Let's go, guys!
His crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Here comes the defensive unit for the Broncos. They trot back out there. And a touchdown given up the last time they were out there, so maybe need to refocus a little bit.
And make sure that they don't start finger-pointing with each other, because oftentimes when a touchdown's given up, you say, okay, where did that happen? Who broke down? Who gave it up? Instead, just go back out there, be a unit again, and try and play a little bit better.
Let's see if they can play a little bit better on this drive. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Now let's go! 3-19!
On 2nd down, here's Rudolph.
Good job!
Out-muscle him here as he
Hey,
pulls it in.
J-Dub, baby!
A really good pickup.
I see you, J-Dub!
Yards.
I see you, J-Dub. That catch. AB should learn something from you.
Rudolph looking to throw. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. From the gun, here's Rudolph. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14.
Second goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Heard the horse.
So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
Out of the gun, Rudolph. And he's going to go down again. Derek Wolfe in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on 2nd and goal, a sack on 3rd and goal, now brings up a decision on 4th down.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the right hash, this from 33. And Boswell's kick is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point's not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And you combine a big leg with a mile-high air, there's the outcome. This will sail out of the end zone for a touchback. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
Hurry up, here we go.
Looking to throw on 2nd. Here's Kelly. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First catch there for Thomas. It's a 1st down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. The pick from Boise State. Shane in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
And we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Now a handoff. It's Freeman. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 9 yards on the pickup that time, so he got more than half of it back, but it's still a 3rd and 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
From the gun, Kelly. And an alley to run.
Damn it!
That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
He really looked comfortable there, scanning the situation, analyzing things, feeling the pressure, and then stepping up right through the middle and sprinting for a first down.
So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45. Here's Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they'll run it here down to about the 40. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here we go now. Blue line it.
Out of the gun, it's Kelly. And he'll find something on the right side, complete. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff.
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time. Really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Detroit! Detroit! Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it.
On 2nd down, Freeman. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down in the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd down.
Good job, Shea.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. In search of 8 yards on 3rd down. They've already converted 2 of these on this drive, 2 for 2. Kelly from the gun, he'll throw. Swings it out to
Good job
for Freeman. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. And the Steelers signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action.
It's a 50-yarder into the win. He's pissed.
And McManus able to put it through, and that'll bring him back within 4. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? That just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yep.
Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Rudolph. This is Bell on the dump off. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain. Stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10.
So no gain.
Rudolph looking to throw it. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
Turn around.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw, Rudolph. And he finds McDonald. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. It'll be a gain of 17 at a Pittsburgh first. From the 50, it's Rudolph. And his throw here is incomplete. Vance McDonald, the tight end, was the target. And now it's 2nd down.
Okay, all right.
Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
He really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
Here's Rudolph. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line.
Boy, oh boy!
So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
All right.
Emmanuel Sanders now as he and the rest of the offense march back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. On first down, it's Kelly. Over the middle, it's Thomas. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. That first down completion only netted them 3. 2nd and 7.
Now let's go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Oh! Why can't we pick that off?
Demaryius Thomas, the intended receiver, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
Damn, why can't we pick those off?
There's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. Kelly now on third down. And that is incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Marquette King now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one.
Oh, man.
Mason Rudolph leading this offense out for their next possession. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing while your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, like I said, he's looked pretty good to this point. Bell. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
Early down stuff will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. On second down, it's Bell. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, bye weeks, they're over. We've once again got a full slate of games to get to as we take you around the NFL here in Week 12. We'll get started up at Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Tyrod Taylor, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. From there, we head all the way out west to see what's happening with the LA Chargers. And this one going the visitors' way, as the Cardinals have the lead in that one. David Johnson with 2 touchdowns there. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And things didn't go so well as it was the visiting Raiders who come in and grab the victory. 21-13, your final score.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? To find out, let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's Rudolph now on second down. And McDonald here over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
Let's see if this guy blitzed on the outside, because I believe that he looked like he was blitzing. And he was. He was coming. Well, these cheating rats, look. He's got that. He's right there with him. Good read. It's a good read.
The give is to Bell. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers may have moved.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Shotgun snap for Rudolph. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
We are seeing two really confident defenses.
Check out of that. Check out of that. You saw him coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Going toe for toe. Just curious if one of these offenses can wake up a little bit.
Is there any way they can find something that can pop, something big to knock them back on their heels?
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and forever.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
Now Rudolph. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Derek Wolfe in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim.
Come on, De Castro. Your effort's got to be better than that.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So now a look at the Broncos as they head back out there for their first possession of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Play action, it's Kelly. Wide open receiver complete. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. and reading your keys. You always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And nearly picked off there, and it would have been a great time for their first pick.
We can never pick it off.
Instead, it's 2nd down.
They
got the win last week despite not having any interceptions. Tried to come up with one there, could not. But there's a stat category called PBU, pass breakup. That's important too. And
I mean, how can you not
there's no doubt about it, because at least you're there, knocking the ball away. Offense isn't possessing it, making plays downfield. And you just continue to harass the receivers, harass the quarterback, and maybe the big play does occur down the road.
This is Freeman. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
All right, here we go.
Here's Kelly to throw on 3rd down. Sanders has it over the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48.
Good job, guys.
The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of 1st downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 1st downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Rudolph on 1st down. And they're going to sack him again. The 5th time they've gotten him today, and this one results in a safety. So the screen pass goes backwards. That play seemed to have a potential disaster written all over it from the start.
I mean, wasn't that a tough spot on the field to make that call? You're inviting defensive linemen and linebackers to get pressure. So if one of them sniffs this out, you're definitely in danger, and this time it costs them 2 points.
And remember, following the safety, you give the football up as well, and they free kick it from the 20 now. Jones on the return. A beautiful fake. So the Broncos coming out now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They go play action here on 1st down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
They might try that.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Thought they might try that.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
No, check.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Broncos on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 17.
Here we go now.
Now Kelly, operating from the gun.
Good job.
Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. T.J. Watt, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. With it is Brown. Brown with his stick skills. Good return that time. 18 yards. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the last time they had the football, they surrendered 2 points on the safety.
Are they? I mean, really? Yeah, he went down. All right.
They don't want to do that one again.
No, not at all. It's almost like a bases clearing double, isn't it? Give up a couple of runs.
Sure.
just messes things up for you offensively. But now they've got to go ahead, take it, set it aside, and move forward.
Let's go.
They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line.
Run away from
Just
that
a
guy.
yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on 1st down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Rudolph throwing on
Damn.
2nd down.
Of course he got out there.
Defensively.
Of course he got out there.
Could have been a game changer there in the 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Green 39.
Here's Rudolph. Over the middle, complete. That's McDonald. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work, and that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a 1st down.
Shoulder to you.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Detroit!
On the counter, here's Bell. They find some open field here. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
The reason that counter or misdirection plays work so well is that usually you've given them a reason to think that everything's going to the direction it starts initially. You've run that type of a play throughout the game. You've given them that look. And now you're going to counter things and bring it back the other way. Almost a tendency breaker at times. And a lot of it is making sure that you have an illusion, almost like a magician. Look over here, but the play is actually happening over there, and that's where running back's vision comes into play. See the hole in a place where people don't expect and get there with some speed, and that's exactly what he did on that play.
His carry with the extra effort is going to get him stopped up just shy of the 10. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green
Now whistles here before the snap, and it looks like one of the Steelers.
Come on!
False start, offense.
And that'll set him back 5.
Damn!
Now after the false start, here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Rudolph. And he's
Good job! Good job!
Touchdown,
He tried to go for
Steelers.
He tried to go for the interception.
Vance McDonald, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed.
Job. He tried to cheat you. Watch this guy. Watch this guy. Watch how superhuman this guy is. Watch how superhuman he is. So we're gonna jump. We're jumping behind him, and watch where we end up. Cheating rats.
Way harder to cover than before.
Extra point now by Boswell. Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead is now 17-8. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now a first down throw. Kelly finds Jake Butt over the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A play fake. Now Kelly.
Good job, guys.
Taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. Gotta imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
Operating from the gun, Kelly. And a sideline pass. That's caught by Thomas. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This will be 3rd and 15.
All right, here we go. Blue line it.
To throw is Kelly. From the gun, he'll throw. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Good job, guys.
It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Good job,
boy,
guys.
They had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Here's Marquette King now, as he's on for the 5th time here today.
That stands.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
Of course. He is.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Rudolph looking to throw. Escaping the... Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. Let's see now, Charles. That's 7 turnovers between last week and this week. 3 here in this game, 4 in last week's game.
You know I do my research, right? And I go all the way back to the best coaches that have ever been in this game. And all of them started with ball security in some form or another, understanding that taking care of the ball was the key to winning games. They can't believe what they're seeing right now because they spend all this time on it with the fundamentals, taking care of it, tucking it away, and they're not doing it.
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. Kelly following the fumble recovery.
Oh, yes! We got it back! Good job! Way to get it back, guys!
His guys will get the football back.
Good job, bro. T.E., are you with me?
Talk about
Oh,
possession
yeah!
a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt.
Good job,
in a big
bro.
way.
T.E., are you with me?
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Turnover that just got them the football back, obviously a big one, because had they been able to score on the other side, this would have been a one-possession game.
So you don't sense full relief here, then?
No, I don't, especially with the ball this deep in their own territory, because you make a mistake, they've got it right back in prime position.
They certainly do. So now, almost like almost like a 4-minute offense, right? Take care of this bad boy. Make sure the other team doesn't touch it, but move it with consistent gains. We're down the clock. And let them use their timeouts in this situation.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd
Damn!
down.
But Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. And there we saw rolling right out of the pocket. Maybe his momentum taking him toward that sideline led him a little too far.
Yeah, that is difficult, isn't it? Plus, you're closing down your space, right? You're shortening the field for your receivers. And their inclination is to go towards the sidelines as fast as the quarterback is as well. Hard for them to throttle down to leave themselves with enough room to stay in bounds and catch the ball.
They'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Gee! Okay, all right, guys.
That time. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, your 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near-perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
He goes underneath to Freeman. Breaks the tackle, now an alley. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A nice gain at 21 yards.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
From the gun, Kelly. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Jake Butt, the tight end, his intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Here we go now.
Kelly now. Going to throw again. Left side here to Sanders. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a 1st down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
This quarterback now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on 1st down.
Here we go now. Blue 90.
Out of the gun, it's Kelly. Got his man, it's Thomas.
Are you fucking
Touchdown,
kidding me?
Denver. Demaryius Thomas, his 1st touchdown on the year.
Are you kidding me?
And the Broncos have cut it to within a score.
Are you kidding me?
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is down to 2. So that drive, 4 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. So the lead shaved to 2 now as the kickoff is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Rudolph going to lead the Steelers up now 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Rudolph. Room here to run. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
From the gun, here's Rudolph. Flushed out right. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion, or even worse, an interception.
A give to Bell. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
Rudolph looking to throw it. But it's brought in by
Good
Washington.
job,
And
Jake.
they work it across midfield inside the 45.
Good job, baby.
The Steelers picking up 15 yards there in a first down.
Good
Could
job.
they sit on it here? Could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now let's go. 2-90.
Now Bell, and he'll be brought down at about the 42. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. As we get late in this one, is altitude a factor for a visiting team in Denver? Is that something that's overplayed?
No, it's real, and I know a lot of the visiting teams like to downplay it because they don't want to get into the heads of their players, but you can't avoid it. As soon as you get to the locker room, you get to the stadium, they always post it in there. Welcome to Denver. Altitude 5,280 feet. The air is rare.
Now let's go. Green 39.
On 2nd down, here's Rudolph. This is caught by Antonio Brown. First
Keep 'em
catch for
moving.
the NFL's leader in receiving yards a year ago.
Keep
and
'em
a first
moving.
down.
chains
Defensively, they're
moving.
okay with that. Short little route.
Keep the
Tackle and
chains moving.
inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Here's Bell. And he gets stopped up at the 31 after a gain
Take it
of
to the
maybe
2-minute
a
warning.
yard.
Take it to the 2-minute
Well,
warning.
the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Again, it's Bell. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game.
Big dummy, you don't call timeout. Let them call timeout.
Timeout offense.
You big dummy, you hit the wrong button. Hit the pause button.
This is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
Rudolph now to throw. And look at this.
You sorry. He's cheating, motherfuckers.
Picked off at the 22.
Damn, they just cheated.
Right around the 28-yard line. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, you know, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trusting his quarterback and trusting his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. And after a rough start, as we take a peek at the numbers, he's going in the right direction now.
So often when you see a game start the way we saw this one start for him, you just wonder if he's got a chance to bring it back at all, and that's exactly what he's done. Love seeing that happen simply because you know a guy has struggled, and now he's found a way to make things better. That's pretty good stuff right there.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. The Broncos in their hurry up, try to get to their positions and get set quickly. They'll look to throw.
Good job!
Pressure there as it's intercepted.
Good job, Rook! Good job,
Terrell Edmonds.
Let's go!
Here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
Cheating rats. Gotta cheat me to beat me. And that ain't right.
2-minute drill, trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like... They're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw, and it'll wind up being intercepted.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They have the football. They're looking good, but the lead is just 2. So any mistake in a field goal can beat you. They got to be careful.
And that's where it gets difficult because you don't want that to leak into your thinking. You want to play like, hey, we've got the advantage. We can close this out. Don't play from fear, and they can win this game.
See if they can play fear-free and hang on. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing.
Here we go now.
They'll go again with Bell. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
They were stopped on that play, but he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away.
Oh.
And that is not going to get there.
Oh,
he missed it short. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you've got a decision. Are you in field goal range, or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Room to run past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. And there's the spike. It stops the clock at 22 seconds remaining. They'll run it now out of the gun. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. So this thing rests on the shoulders of Brandon McManus. 2 for 2 on the afternoon, and a 3rd would win it. And this kick is not going to get there. It's short and no good. Well, that would have been something if he could have saved him from that long distance there in the closing seconds, but it was just not meant to be.
They needed a little more time and a little more yardage to give him a realistic shot. And that kick's a good metaphor for this game, isn't it? They're going to wind up a little short in the end.
And the knee is taken for the Steelers out of the victory formation. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it.